Hillary Clinton, on the campaign trail, there's a lot of crying apparently from the media that they're not getting the access to her that they want. I would be more concerned if I thought that there was a media that, by having direct access to her, would actually bring me some value. I mean, to the extent that I'm seeing any value from the media, it's people are just doing reporting on other aspects of her presidency. I mean, I'm not quite as impressed with the stuff from the Clinton Foundation, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it doesn't tell me much that I don't know from when she said, we were broke when we left the White House. But, you know, credit where credit's due. Apparently, on the campaign trail, Hillary is hearing a lot about opiate addiction. This is a problem we've talked about on this program a decent amount. Because there has been such an overprescription of opioid painkillers, and then a sort of dysfunctional system in which to wean people off it, it has created a real problem with heroin overdoses. Because once you're off the opioid painkillers, prescription painkillers, the cheaper way to get that high is to go buy some heroin. Apparently, a CDC study of 28 states found that heroin deaths doubled from 2010 to 2012. Doubled. They increased 39% in 2013 from the year before, hitting nearly 8,300. Apparently, Vermont's governor devoted his entire 2014 State of the State speech to heroin. In New York City, there are more heroin deaths than homicides. And apparently, Clinton has been hearing a lot about this on the campaign trail. Now, she's just been in New Hampshire and Iowa, which you don't necessarily associate with huge heroin problems. But she's now starting to speak about, well, let me just quote from what she said at a recent roundtable in New Hampshire. There is a hidden epidemic. We know the drug use problem, whether it's pills or meth or heroin, is not as visible as 30 years ago when there were all kinds of gangs and violence. What kind of opportunities do they have for treatment? I am convinced that mental health issues, because I consider substance abuse part of mental health issues, is going to be a big part of my campaign, because increasingly it's a big issue that people raise with me. So that's a fascinating turn of, I mean, just get a notion of what this campaign is going to shape up, where God knows what the Republicans are going to be talking about. Benghazi. I'm even talking about the primary. Benghazi, I guess, and emails. Hillary Clinton's going to be talking about things like incarceration reform, drug law reform. And meanwhile, Bernie Sanders on Tuesday was doing a AMA on Reddit, an Ask Me Anything, and he did not explicitly say that we should legalize marijuana or decriminalize it, although he did say this, relative to the time that he was mayor in Burlington, Vermont, I can tell you very few people were arrested for smoking marijuana. And he was mayor 25, 30 years ago. Our police had more important things to do. He's watching the situation in Colorado very closely, he says, and Colorado's led the effort toward legalizing marijuana. I'm going to watch closely to see the pluses and minuses of what they've done. I'll have more to say about this issue within the coming months. So there you have it. Both Bernie and Hillary on drugs on the campaign trail.